I could be such an idiot. I just did this entire section and I forgot to turn on the screen recorder, so let me go back over it again. This is an elimination technique problem. I know that because I have my A's over my A's, my B's over my B's, my equals over my equals, and my numbers over my numbers. So what I'm going to do is eliminate the B's. I like to do that because the signs are opposite. That's why I picked them. Otherwise, I got to introduce a negative. Still can do it, but I got to introduce a negative. So I'm going to get a common multiple of 10, distributing the 2 here, and I get 6a minus 10b equals 14, and 20a plus 10b, I'm sorry, is equal to 90. Adding them up, die, 26a equals 104. Divide by 26, and I get a is 4. Here's where a lot of kids will mess up. They stop at this particular point in time because they found a, and it's like so many equations, you always only find one answer. But with these simultaneous problems, there's always 2 variables. So in this case, you also have to go back and get a b. So I do that, and I rewrite either equation. In this case, I'm going to rewrite the bottom equation because that has all positives. You could use either, they both work. Substituting the 4 in for a, and I get 16 plus 2b is 18. Minusing the 16 from both sides, die. 2b is 2, divide by 2, b is 1. So a is 4, b is 1. The problem does not say to check, so I am completely done. A is 4, b is 1. Okay, first part done. Next part. This now is a substitution question. The reason I know it's substitution is if I look for my lining up, like I just did before, the x's and the y's, they're not on top of each other. So that says go to plan B, which is to substitute in the variables. Now, the y is exactly equal to a 3x minus 1. It is like going up to a soda machine and saying that you want to buy a soda and you can't put a dollar bill in the machine because it's all full up with dollar bills. What could you do? Well, you could trade your dollar bill in for 4 quarters, and then it would take the 4 quarters. So I'm going to write 2x plus 5. Notice that's exactly the same. Then I'm going to not write the y. I'm going to write the equals 29. But over here, a y is the same thing as 3x minus 1. So like I could use 4 quarters for $1, I can use a 3x minus 1 for a y. Now I have one variable, namely x, in a single equation, so it's going to work. 2x plus 15x minus 5 is 29. 17x, this is the same side situation. Minus 5 is 29, plus 5. Die. 17x equals 34. Divide by 17. X is equal to 2. Now we have to go back and we need to get the y value. Y equals 3x minus 1. Y equals 3 times 2 minus 1. I'm just substituting the 2 in for x like I did on the previous problem. Y equals 6 minus 1. Y equals 5. Now this question, you'll notice, tells you to check. And thank God for Mr. Frank, because one of my weaknesses as a teacher is that I find myself bored to death by checks. But Mr. Frank really drilled into his students how to do checks well. So I think my kids do checks really well, not because of me, but because of Mr. Frank. So I'm going to substitute the 2 for x and the 5 for y. So 2 times 2 plus 5 times 5 is 29. 4 plus 25 is 29. 29 is 29, check. Next, 5 is 3 times 2 minus 1. 5 is 6 minus 1. 5 is 5, check. All right, so there is a substitution example, same one from the test. Clearly a skill we have to be good at. And now we get to the last question. And the only thing you got to do differently on this one, it's either going to be eliminate or substitute, but we have to first write the equations. So 2 pens plus 1 eraser, I'm going to use R for eraser, is 65 cents. 3 pencils and 4 erasers are $1.35. What's the cost of a pencil and an eraser? Now, what I'm going to do is pair up either of the variables, and you can always do either one, but to me it just makes a whole lot of sense to multiply the top equation by -4, and then my r's will be paired up. So I distribute -4 to everything, I get -8p minus 4r equals negative 260. 3p plus 4r equals $1.35. I'm not changing that one at all. These cancel each other out, die. Negative 5p equals negative 1.25. Dividing by negative 5. So happy it's not an inequality. No signs to switch. P is equal to 0.25. So what this tells you is that the cost of a pencil is 25 cents. But we have not yet figured out the cost of an eraser. So I can use either equation, but it seems to me that the first equation be a little easier, save a step. 2 times, put that 0.25 in there, plus r is 0.65. 0.50 plus r is 0.65 minus 0.50, r equals 0.15. So an eraser is 15 cents and a pencil is 25 cents. I hope this was a big help to you. I can see lots of improvement coming from many, many, many of you guys. Let's go, rock it. Let me help you as much as I can possibly help you.